Hello and welcome to Miniatures Rundown. I'm Mitchell.
I'm Joshua.
And this week we have a plethora. Well, I guess a plethora is overselling it a little bit, but we have some good stuff.
The order tide has come.
That's true, the order tide. Let's get one thing out of the way first.
It's an Underworlds card pack.
It's an Underworlds card pack. I didn't even know this was coming because
they didn't put it in the preview article.
So they announced it, I was told this by Chris, they announced it 2 weeks ago and then went, asterisk gets delayed, and then it showed up this week.
Gotcha, okay.
But we would say the same thing last week.
We care as much this week as we did 2 weeks ago.
That is correct. That being said, I did play a game of Underworlds recently, and it wasn't bad.
It's a good game.
It was the starter.
I just don't like all the card chase.
Yeah.
If I'm going to chase miniatures. Speaking of,
here we're going to put this someplace.
So we have the arrival of the Seraphon Vanguard box. We talked a little bit about this in our Sunday rundown.
Yeah.
I am particularly a fan of this because it is not merely a repeat of the Seraphon Army box.
Right.
It is brand new. It comes with 3 Croxigors. You can build them either of the Croxigors. And those are the new Croxigors, of course. 10 Saurus Warriors.
Wouldn't that just be real junk if these are the old ones?
It wouldn't surprise me.
No.
What most surprises me, and I think is most important about this still comes with the Carnosaur kit.
Yeah, for a couple of reasons that's surprising.
Number one, they've been pulling monsters out of the kits, of the Vanguard boxes. So for this one to still have a big centerpiece monster is pretty cool. And number two, the Carnosaur is a very, very, very late edition of Warhammer Fantasy.
Right.
That being said, it still holds up amazingly.
Yeah, it's similar to the Screaming Bell and the what's the big fire dragon for Fire Slayers?
Yeah, the big Magmadroth.
Yeah, those were like the
No,
ending.
the Magmadroth was part of Fire Slayers. Magmadroth wasn't released until Ages of Sigmar.
Really?
Oh, yeah, Fire Slayers weren't part of Ages or Warhammer Fantasy.
I thought
Other examples though might be the Hurricanum for Cities of Sigmar.
They basically released a whole bunch of big stuff, and then they were like, "Now we're going to new bases."
And the world ends.
And the world ends. But the fact that it's in here is really nice. On the preview, we mentioned that it does hold up next to the other ones.
Yes,
it is. I'm glad they didn't put some what's the other one? The little turtley one.
Bastiladon?
Yeah, the Bastiladon in here. I don't like that one near as much.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't put a Slan in there.
Yeah, because
that's a new kit, and I figured they want to do that, but I guess they figure you only really need one Slan, whereas this guy can be built as the Troglodon as well.
I'm not sure GW's ever cared about that in particular.
This is a very good point. Cut to picture of Zangor boxes.
Need more Zangors, son?
Speaking of things you do need more of, though, is dudes and dudettes and everything in between.
Yeah.
And outside.
And horses.
The Cities of Sigmar Army box. So currently, this is it's only 200 MSRP.
Yeah,
which is very surprising to me.
Yeah, on the preview we talked about it. You betted 210, and I said higher than that. So
we thought it would kind of be inflated a little bit. It's not. It's $200. For that, you get 20 of the new Freeguild Steelhelms, who are the replacement for the Freeguild Guard.
Right.
You get a Freeguild Marshal and his Relic Envoy, and an Alchemite Warforger, who is basically your buff wizard.
Yeah.
And then you also get 5 of the Cavaliers, the new cavalry. Let's take a look at these sprues. Oh, and I guess perhaps most importantly of all, you get the brand new Battletome.
Yeah, the Special Edition Battletome.
So let's take a look at the Special Edition Battletome first. So this might be hard to see because of the glare, and I apologize, but here's a nice picture. I like this because they're really leaning into the cities, because the cover is the logos of all the famous cities, some of which I don't even recognize.
Yeah.
I recognize Lethis from the Amethyst. I recognize Hammerhall, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, before it was like, guys, it's humans, and then some other guys are here too.
Yes.
So I like this as well.
And that is something some people have asked because they've kind of removed a few dwarf and elf kits.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, there are still many dwarves and many elves in this book.
Right.
They previewed a few of their rules a couple days ago.
Oh.
Dwarves have very easy access to a 5-up ward or a 4-up ward for Ironbreakers.
Nice. That's
And
how they should do it.
The only one they showed off for elves were Dark Riders, which didn't look very good. But, not everybody can be a winner.
Yeah. They're really dwarf-focused right now.
Well, if you want to play elves, you have entire armies for that.
That's true.
This, of course, also comes with bases, transfers, and the War Scroll cards.
Yeah, which also has the special edition.
Yes.
Probably. I mean, I would assume, because all the other ones look different.
All right, let's take a look at some of the sprues. We're going to start small with Mr. Warforger. Don't worry, we'll get a zoom in on that. So this is kind of the replacement for a Battle Mage. Except the battle mages are still very much in the book, so he's not a replacement.
I knew that.
But his shtick is that he buffs weapons and armor.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm not a Cities player, and you have been in the past.
Yes.
So I have not been up to date on
He either
any of those.
empowers your weapons to get mortals on 6s, or empowers your armor to give you better save.
Cool.
The general and his envoy, on the other hand, they hand out orders. It's very Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
With the order system.
But the orders up until you use them are secret.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
Yes.
It kind of adds a little... There's not much hidden information in Warhammer, so it's interesting when they add it.
Yes. And then we'll go to the Freeguild Steelhelms. There's 2 sprues of these. Each one comes with 10.
Yep.
These are kind of your new rank and file. These are your basic boys.
Yeah. Nothing too special. They're not the elites, but they're not like...
They're probably better than the old guard word, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Obviously, it goes without saying all of these kits look amazing.
I like that is this the kit? Hang on, I gotta look at the back now. Yes, it is. It's the kit that comes with the guy and the squire.
Yes.
And they're like customizable.
That's the guard and his the Freeguild general and his envoy.
Yeah.
Yes, what I do like is this one does come with all of the options for those folks.
Yeah.
They're not doing what they often do with 40k army boxes, where you only get one option, and then later they release the multi-part kit. Age of Sigmar doesn't really do that.
Yeah, probably because they know they can sell a second box if they make it a multi-part kit.
Fair. And then here is sprue number 1 for the Cavaliers, or rather sprue number 1 and 2, because there's actually 3 half sprues for the Cavaliers. These are one of those things where they look absolutely amazing, but there's so much detail.
Yeah, can I see that one?
They're so busy.
Yeah, with all their little frills and their
symbols. I would not relish painting these.
I would paint them. They wouldn't look great, but I would paint them.
But they do look fantastic.
Yeah. The models themselves look fantastic. Oh, the little
Gargoyles? Gargoyles? What are they called again? I forget. They're basically little order familiars.
Yeah.
The kit is full of them, both in every single sprue, I think, has at least one of these little gargoyles, or whatever they're called. So every single one of those kits.
Do they do something, or are they just cool? Oh, okay.
Nope, they don't do anything.
Okay, because there's familiars and other...
Some of the kits they have said have rules where they do something, and it's part of I think one of the stratagems, like, basically says your Gargoylean is taking a psychic hit for you, or something like that, protecting you.
Oh, okay.
But no, they don't have their own, like, models or anything like that. So it's kind of depressing, because when you put it out all on the table like this, it doesn't look like a lot of plastic for $200.
It does not. Unfortunately, it doesn't.
Still more plastic than a Knight Lancer.
Yeah. I mean, it's 3 full sprues plus almost another one.
Well, that's how characters go.
Yeah.
So all of this is already up for pre-order. What I found pretty interesting is that it's not out of stock.
Yeah.
This seems to be something they either made a lot of or there's not a lot of interest in.
I don't believe there's not a lot of interest.
I refuse to believe that as well. From what we understand, Cities of Sigmar was the sleeper hit. Like, it was the one they kind of just threw something together and people loved it because there's so much room to customize. Now, I've not read through the book yet. Hopefully be doing that later. But it seems like they're still going for that.
Yeah, and I like that the way that the direction they're taking with it, like you said, with the tons and tons of different orders and the different cities themselves. I'm excited to play against them, although I've heard some things that might be a little mean.
Yeah, they're a very ranged-focused armies, and they have apparently a lot of tools for denying things.
Yeah.
Which can always be tricky to play against, because when the army strategy is I get to play and you don't, that's often not very fun. We'll see how it actually shakes out.
Right.
The community always has this kind of the sky is falling every time a new book comes out.
Yeah, insert any Warhammer thing ever.
Insert anything ever except Gits, I guess. No, wait, Gits this time were on that. Yeah, they were on that.
They were the very bottom, and then they got released, and they had to get nerfed.
So this might be like that again.
Yeah, who knows?
We'll let you know later. This is up for pre-order now. Comes out this Saturday, September 2nd.
Yes, correct.
And yeah, it goes for $200. Still available, which is like, this is the first time in a long time we've been able to do a preview release video for something that you can still actually get your hands on.
We're not cynically going like, oh, if you can find it. No.
Well, if GW stops doing that, I'll stop saying it.
There you go.
But I won't stop saying goodbye.
Goodbye?